Are men and women equal?
Actually, women are better than men. What do men bring to the world? Literally nothing. Women, the vibes, just everything.
Everything.
Vibes? This cat really thinks the world thrives on vibes. Yeah, the next time your car's out of fuel or if your house happens to be on fire, let's see you fill it up or put it out with vibes. See how far that gets you.
If you look around the entire infrastructure of our nation, our economy, every building you walk into, the way that you are portraying your ideas and opinions is through technology and infrastructure and an economy and a nation that was not only built, but it's still maintained to this day by men.
Did men allow you to have that haircut?
You taking personal attacks makes me seem like the more intelligent.
Of course. She goes to personal attacks when she has no rebuttal to the knowledge he just dropped on her.
Okay, I understand.
Validate your point, not some personal attack because you're losing the argument. Feminism stops whenever it's inconvenient for y'all. By definition, you are delusional if you cannot defend your ideas.
You should go.
I actually don't.
He should go, but you're going to run away. Oh, that's classic.
Feminism has definitely ruined all of that. Where it comes to men being men step up. I don't know if you guys saw that article that there was some girl that was drowning and the guy saved her life, and then he was like, she was gonna sue him for touching her. Oh, he touched me without my consent. You were under the water, you were dying. Like, he literally saved your life, and she's like, well, for a brief moment, I was grateful that I was alive. This is why men don't step up, because when they do the right thing, they get crucified. If you want better men, be better women, because it starts with you. How you act, how you carry yourself, how you talk to them. Treat a man like a king, he'll treat you like a queen.
Yeah, it's absolutely ridiculous. And that's why these days, when you hear certain people say, oh, why didn't he step in and help her? Or there's a situation where they expect a man to risk his life or to risk his time or whatever for somebody, some stranger, because they're in trouble or they need something. It's like, this is why they don't do it. Because what do you get for it? I mean, it's bad enough that you don't get a thank you, but in this case, you're getting sued. No thanks.
You want better men, be better women.
Have you noticed that when women are complaining about men, they're usually complaining about the things that men have done to them? But when men are complaining about women, they're usually complaining about the things that women haven't done for them.
No, I haven't noticed that.
The difference is male entitlement is much more dangerous than female entitlement. Women lose their lives every day for saying no, but go off about how misandry is just perpetrating the cycle of oppression. Y'all are so silly.
Yeah, this couldn't be more wrong. In fact, perhaps my memory's failing me, but I don't recall a single time that I was complaining about them not doing anything for me. Typically, my criticism is based on just the lack of respect for men and the delusions of not all of them, but ones similar to what we're seeing here. And also, does anybody remember this video?
I just had to drag my AC out of my car to my apartment building. 3 guys passed me. None of them offered to help. None. 0 out of 3. Why? Because you couldn't lift it? You were too scared to lift it? Is that why?
No.
Am I intimidating? Am I more masculine than you?
Well, maybe. And notice how now she wants to shame these guys because she didn't get the help from them that she wanted.
I hope every black woman is kissing another black woman because we are the innate protectors and the providers. Literally, a man asked me for my number. I said no, and he picked up a brick in front of so many men and was like, what are you gonna do? And I told all these men, like, yo, why this man got a brick on my face? And he's holding a brick and all these is watching and nobody does nothing.
In the video, you can hear the men say, well, what do you want us to do? And this is why women will say they do not trust men. They don't say some men, they'll just say men in general. Because they have not been given a safe space to feel like they can trust men in general. To either accept the answer of no and be rejected without the threat of violence, or to be protected by the very men who yell out, protect black women at all costs, while standing by while a black woman is attacked by another black man.
Yeah, so she's basically making the same argument as that last one. Oh, it's always about what they've done to us and this. Unfortunately for both of them, though, and the whole what she just said is a problem. Some guys can't take no for an answer, but in this situation, the chick we're talking about who made this claim, the whole thing was a grift. She made the entire thing up. It was completely fabricated in order for her to demonize men and simultaneously try to scam people out of money to send to her for this whole story she made up.
The woman at the center of a viral video who claimed a man threw a brick at her head because she would not give him her phone number is now wanted by Houston police. This story got national attention after that woman live streamed what she claimed was the aftermath on Instagram and started a GoFundMe.
Daniela, Houston police got called to this street in September, and when they arrived, the woman seen in that viral video told them that an Uber driver threw a brick at her head and then tried to kidnap her. But tonight, she has become the focus of this criminal investigation because Houston police say the surveillance footage captured by cameras on this street doesn't match her story.
Yo, this man just hit me in my face with a brick and all these black men just watched.
Isn't that inconvenient? She made up the whole story in an attempt to demonize men and get sympathy so she could scam people by convincing them to send her money. But we're getting a little sidetracked here when the whole point is, by no means are men complaining about what she won't do for them while she's complaining about what they have done to her, or perhaps she is complaining about it, but a lot of the times what they're complaining about is just nonsense. And if he is making complaints about her, it's typically about his wife who won't cook for him or won't give him action in the bedroom. It's not as if he's complaining about these things in regards to all of them as a group. It's typically complaints about what his specific situation entails. Whereas they just like to make up crap to complain about, feed off of each other's delusions, and demonize men in general.
They don't say some men, they'll just say men in general.
I was struggling to bring my TV, fit it into my car. It was in a big box. It's a 55-inch. It could barely fit into this car. I'm sitting out here struggling to get this in my car. Men are walking back and forth. No one is trying to help me.
There's a reason for that. Decades ago, you wouldn't have needed help. The men would have done it for you. The thing is, the world has changed. Women have changed. Now, see, something I tend to do a lot. I tend to imagine, what if I was a man?
Yeah, that's smart.
What would I be doing today? Would I help? Truthfully, when I think about it, no, absolutely not. Even if my instinct as a man is leaning toward chivalry, I'm not going to help. There's a number of reasons for that. A lot of times, when men are doing nothing wrong, they end up on the internet because the wind blew something into their eye and they might have winked and someone filmed it, and then you end up on TikTok as some kind of perv because you were winking at a woman.
In all this talk about empathy, you hear them constantly complaining about men not having enough empathy. Meanwhile, this is one of the few examples that I rarely see the other way around, where somebody actually is trying to be empathetic and, like she said, try to see things from a man's perspective instead of just complaining about them constantly.
And what if she was 17 years old and you helped her, and then you end up on the internet as some kind of creep? It's just too dangerous. There are cameras out here. People are filming things with duplicitous intent. You don't know when you're the next guy getting your life ruined. You don't know when a woman is going to lash out at you because you might be helping her and she takes offense in that.
Or sue you.
Man, I would not deal with this. Women want men to be old-fashioned, but men don't want to be old-fashioned.
This is true.
They just want the best parts of what men can offer.
An older man to come and see me struggling, he came out and helped me take the TV out of the box. They don't make real men anymore. Like, I'm sorry, I'm not all men, because there are good men out there, but it's such a rare thing. It took an older man to do that.
That's because they still have an old school mentality, that chivalrous mentality. Those tend to be the guys who are the biggest white knights because they view you the way that they view women of their age, where you're just something in need of being protected or worthy of being protected. They're not out here dealing with all the nonsense like younger guys. So younger guys are the ones who have learned, okay, this isn't even worth the effort. Older guys are used to dealing with traditional women and being treated like traditional men, so they continue to do that. But the younger ones, they know better.
It took an older man to do that.
Of course it took a 70 or 80-year-old man. Because he's not on social media.
Exactly.
He doesn't see what's going on out here. He's from a different generation where women were actually beautiful. And he still believes that women are beautiful. I used to believe women were beautiful. I see what's happening to men when they try to be chivalrous and kind. Sometimes it's appreciated. Oftentimes it's not.
I'd say more often than not, it isn't.
At that moment, which risk does he want to take? Will this be a good outcome or will this be a negative outcome? A man doesn't know, so he backs away. You can't blame them for that.
We got to go back to the drawing board.
Yes.
Yeah, you do. We as in you.
But not in regard to men. Women need to go back to the drawing board. You do need help with things, don't you? You do want them to do things, don't you? Why are they not doing it? Is it because maybe you're not doing something? Or it could be because you are doing something. You're doing too much. So instead of coming online and giving a whole lecture on what men need to be doing, maybe you should go online and talk to women about what we should be doing.
Yeah, and this next guy's meme is a perfect example of exactly another reason why men don't get involved.
Excuse me, ma'am.
I have a boyfriend.
No, ma'am, I was trying to tell you.
I have a boyfriend.
Ma'am.
Oh my God, but you're not understanding. I have a boyfriend.
Ma'am, listen, I'm not trying to be your boyfriend. I'm trying to tell you have a flat tire, and I was going to help you change your tire.
Oh my, can you help me?
No, I can't. I have a girlfriend. I have a girlfriend, ma'am. I'm sorry.
And granted, part of the reason why they respond in this way is because there are a lot of creeps out there constantly hollering at them, and I could understand how that could be a pain after a while, especially some of the real creepy ones who are like following them down the street and whatnot. But you got to see, again, from a man's perspective, when you're a decent guy who has no ill intentions and you're actually trying to help someone and this is how they respond or react to you, eventually you get tired of it. You don't even want to get involved. You don't want to have your day ruined by it. I mean, dealing with an attitude of, oh, you must be talking to me because you want me, that's bad enough. But then when they're trying to reject you and you weren't even interested in the first place, you were just trying to offer them some kind of help, it's like nobody wants to deal with that.